I had a kind of an unusual thing happen on the M37. I was driving it the other day, just going out to the gate, shut it off, wouldn't start again. Well, I thought, well, that's odd, because normally there's kind of a lot of redundancy in these. When they, if you start developing a problem, it's usually a slow, gradual thing. You have plenty of warning. It usually just doesn't stop running. Well, it had stopped running. So first thing I checked, and I was getting voltage down to the distributor. And so I figured, okay, it's got to be in the distributor. I pull it out, and they've got kind of an odd, where the primary wire runs in, that goes, the coil sits inside of the distributor to make it waterproof. And they've got, in this housing, is this, which appears to be a condenser of some sort, or some kind of a maybe radio filter. But the wire that went from this, the hot wire that goes up to the coil, had burnt off. And I got to looking at it, and I didn't realize it. I got the insulation peeled off of it. But this appears to be that Fusible Link wire. This isn't uncommon, but I didn't realize I had it in here. The idea is, rather than have a fuse in the line, they have a weak spot in the wire. It's the wire goes from being fairly heavy copper to being this thin that's got a lot of lead in it. And the idea is, if something shorts out or overloads, it burns this wire out. And that's what it did. You can see there's a solder connection right here where it let go. Well, I've never cared for them. It turns up on a lot of different vehicles, though a lot of times people aren't really even aware it's there. Like, I wasn't aware that they had it in here, but I know some of the older Harleys had it. I think Ford's used it in their ignitions for a long time. It's like the weak link in the chain. Instead of burning out something expensive or starting a car on fire, it's supposed to pop that wire. To me, a fuse or a circuit breaker makes more sense. But they used this Fusible Link wire. And that's what happened here. She just popped that Fusible Link. So I'll have to hunt up some of that. It's available. You can buy it in any kind of length. The thing I don't really like about it, a lot of times this stuff, it's got like really good insulation on it, a heavy thermal insulation. And what can happen, you can actually have your Fusible Link burn out inside of your wire without, like this was covered with this on the outside, insulation, and then this, which is thermal resistant. So a lot of times you can have them go out and you wouldn't know that the wire is burnt out, unless you actually check to see if it's feeding through it. But it's not something I'm really fond of, that design. I'd sooner see even a fuse. And this was actually a pretty bad, to buried in the distributor. It would be better to have it on the outside. But I don't know, I don't know what the theory was, but they used it for quite a few years on various vehicles, like I say. A lot of times you can tell it. I've seen a lot of it that's got, like there's dual layers of insulation, and the inside will be a kind of an orange. That there again is thermal stuff. But like I say, a lot of times, the only time you notice it, you'll be monkeying around with the wire and you'll find there's one spot that's really flexible. That's where that link burnt out. Yeah, here's, it's the outer case, an inner insulation, and then another insulation on the outside of that. But that was my problem. So I'll hunt up some of that. No biggie, I'm not going anywhere anyway, but this stuff is commonly available. if you go to a place that knows what they're talking about. You know, 'cause, there's some part stores that aren't going to have it, or if you have the part number, they might have the replacement wire, but they don't know that it's a thermal link. They just think it's a wire. You know, they don't understand the principle behind it. But you can buy it in big rolls even. But I just need like a 6-inch piece of it. And like I say, it's available. I used to have, I'll have to check, I used to have some of it from left over from the days working at the Harley shop. Or I think I got an old Ford pickup, I could probably swipe a piece off of it. But that's all it is. Just designed to replace a fuse. But like I say, not smart putting it in a distributor. You know, I could see in the wire leading up to the distributor, or even in this connector that they got on the outside of the distributor, but this actually ran from this condenser type of thing right up to the coil. You know, the positive feed to the coil. Because, you know, a coil works, it's got a positive feed all the time, and then the points open and close the negative, the ground, and that's what causes the arc. Well, this is hot all the time, and all of a sudden I didn't have any hot. Had it going up to the distributor, but she couldn't get past that break in that fusible link.